Measuring feed efficiency in beef cattle is currently not a very simple process. It requires sophisticated equipment and careful attention to an animal's feed intake. Yet in the future, a cattleman could potentially predict a cow's efficiency using a simple DNA test. That's one of the goals behind a current USDA-funded research project that is analyzing the genetics behind feed efficiency and developing tools for producers to implement on their operations.
We're just now in the process of getting some of the initial results from our genomics work and identifying DNA markers and maybe some pathways in terms of different genes and interactions of genes in the animal that affect efficiency.
There are some traits that are hard to measure, like feed efficiency, that we're going to benefit more from some of the genomic markers because it's hard to measure those. And so using that information at an early stage on these animals, that's where we're going to get the biggest benefit from the markers. But the other traits that we traditionally measure with progeny testing are still very important. So I think the combination of those two will be the trick for progressing the beef industry into the next level of production.
We have seen a tremendous increase in the number of our members that are utilizing DNA technology to make their selection tools that they provide to their commercial producers more accurate.
I think this is one of the traits where genomics really has the maximum amount of value because it is traits that's hard to measure, expensive to measure, and those that we really don't have a lot of information on at the present time.
If you're buying bulls, I think you have the opportunity to use the genomics to increase some accuracy, and some of these traits that aren't necessarily in EPDs, you will be able to use those genomics or those traits that have been measured in other cattle in indexes. And I encourage people to understand what those are and use those in those indexes.
Having the genomic tool to be able to evaluate those animals and then to evaluate the cows down the road, evaluate those replacement females, I think will have a significant impact because that's half the equation. If we can select females or at least cull some females that aren't as favorable for this trait, it'll allow us to make that progress that much faster.
Genomics and DNA technology hold great potential for measuring this economically important trait. To learn more about the latest news from the Feed Efficiency Project, visit beefefficiency.org.